Hello friends, I'm Urvasshi, and in this video today I'd like to talk about the transit of Saturn in the zodiac sign of Sagittarius. So Saturn came to the zodiac sign of Sagittarius. It entered the zodiac sign of Sagittarius last year in 2017 in January, and then it went retrograde, and then again it came back straight to the zodiac sign of Sagittarius. And now in April it is going to go retrograde in the zodiac sign of Sagittarius till the month of September. This is a very important event in astrology because Saturn is back in any zodiac sign only after 28 years, almost 28 years. That's a long time. So Saturn is going to be back in Sagittarius after 28 years. And then going retrograde in that sign, this has a lot of meaning. So first of all, I'd like to explain to you the difference between this particular transit and the previous one. So Saturn was in the sign of Scorpio till last year. From the year 2014, November of 2014 to the January of 2017, it was in the sign of Scorpio. So, what is Scorpio? In the original zodiac belt, the sign of Scorpio falls in the 8th house, the house of transformations. The 8th house is the house of all our hidden fears. It is the house of all our subconscious sides, of all our secrets. And Saturn, this tough taskmaster, because that's what Saturn is. Saturn is a tough taskmaster. Saturn is a judge. And in the original zodiac belt, Saturn represents the 10th and the 11th house, the sign of Capricorn and the sign of Aquarius. In Hindi, Saturn is called the Karamdata, the giver of profession. It is the great judge. So this tough planet, this planet that makes us work, was in this difficult, intense, emotional sign of transformation in the sign of Scorpio for more than 2 years. So in all probability, a lot of changes would have happened in our lives at that time. I know changes happened in my life and in all the people and in all the birth charts that I've seen at that point of time. So changes would naturally be regarding your profession, because Saturn is the significator of our profession. But changes would also be regarding the houses that Saturn represents in your birth chart. So if Saturn is the lord of the 4th house, you could have had a change of residence. If Saturn is the lord of 10th house, then of course it would have acted strongly on your profession. There would have been major changes, and changes would not necessarily have been pleasant, because Scorpio is a very intense, deep, hidden sign that is going to cause a lot of transformation in us, physically as well as mentally. Last year in January, Saturn did enter the sign of Sagittarius. Vis-a-vis Scorpio, Sagittarius is a lighter sign. It's a very positive sign, a philosophical sign, a happy sign, a hopeful sign. In the natural zodiac belt, Sagittarius is the 9th house. In Hindi, we call the 9th house as Bhagyasthan. Bhagya means destiny, or fortune, or luck. So Sagittarius is the original sign, the zodiac sign of luck. Now this very tough taskmaster has come into this very optimistic, happy sign. So now Saturn is here in the sign of Sagittarius, and now it has, in April 2018, it goes retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius. So what do I mean by going retrograde? Well, in my previous video, if you haven't seen it, you can go back and watch that video. It's about Jupiter retrograde in the sign of Libra. I have explained that retrograde motion is going backward, is going in the opposite direction. So in astrology, we see planets from Earth. We take the planets are seen with reference from the Earth. So when a planet goes retrograde, it means it appears to be moving in the opposite direction. So the planet suddenly stops and it appears to be moving in the opposite direction. That is called a retrograde motion. And if I were to explain to you the impact of retrogression, well, it could simply be explained. Let's suppose you have been given some work by your teacher in school. You're in school and you were given some homework and you did not complete it. And the next day when you go to class, you're not able to give your task, you're not able to give your homework to the teacher, and then the teacher gives you this 1 hour. She says, okay, fine, now you have this 1 hour, go back and complete it. So how are you going to do it? You're going to do it the best you can, because you know you did not complete it at the first go, and now you have this 1 hour and you're going to put in your best effort. You're going to put in all your skills and your energy and your concentration, and you're going to do the best job that you can. So that is what a retrograde planet really is. A retrograde planet becomes stronger. A retrograde planet is there with a mission. A retrograde planet has some karmic task, some karmic debt to be completed, to be fulfilled. In your birth chart, if you have retrograde planets, that means there are tasks, there are karmic lessons to be learned, especially if you have your ascendant lord or your Atmakarka planet, like I mentioned in my previous video. An Atmakarka planet is the planet with the highest degree in your birth chart. So if that planet is retrograde or your ascendant lord is retrograde, that means karmic burden you have been carrying around with you for the last many births. So it's an important event in a birth chart to have retrograde planets. They become stronger, they act differently, they perform differently, they give results differently. A Mercury retrograde would think out of the box. So similarly for all the planets. Now Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius. It's going back, and it's going retrograde from the nakshatra of Purvashada, and it's going back to the nakshatra of Mool. So what are these nakshatras doing, and what is the sign of Sagittarius doing? So the sign of Sagittarius originally means it is the sign of philosophy. It's the sign of higher learning. It's the sign of religion. It's the sign of our culture, traditions, values. It's the sign of hope. It's a very optimistic sign. And Saturn is now going back retrograde in this very optimistic, hopeful sign in the nakshatra of Purvashada. It will go up to the nakshatra of Mool and then come back straight again. But before it goes retrograde, there are about 5 days that the planet is called stationary. When a planet is moving in one direction, it's moving forward, it then stops for a brief span of time, and then it starts moving in the opposite direction. Now that brief span of time is the period when the planet is stationary, which is a very, 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 very important time. Because that brief span of time, those 5 days when the planet is stationary, is the time when the planet is calm, still, concentrating, completely focused. So whatever tasks you do in that span of time, those brief few days, 4-5 days, from around the 12th, 13th of April to about the 18th of April, whatever tasks you do, you will get success in that. You will do well in that. You will make a strong base in that, because this karmic planet, this planet of karma, this planet of past karmic debts, this planet of our actions, this planet that is the great judge, is now still and calm, totally focused, totally concentrated on what you're doing. So this is an important time, especially if you want to go into some kind of a spiritual routine, like you want to start a spiritual routine, or you want to get into meditation. You will be able to concentrate and meditate better. You would have lesser thoughts. You would be able to focus on inside. You would be able to go inward, because that is what this stationary planet is about. It's gone inwards, it's focused, it's calm. This is the best time to start meditating. If you've been thinking about doing that, this is the best time. Especially now, since Saturn is in this great sign of tradition, in the best time to start something like meditation, since Saturn is in Sagittarius. So now it has gone retrograde in the nakshatra of Purvashada. So what is Purvashada? The energy of Purvashada, the nakshatra belongs to the planet Venus. All the qualities of the sign of Sagittarius are in the nakshatra of Purvashada. It has this very positive feeling of being invincible, of being undefeated. A person born under the Purvashada nakshatra is very optimistic, is very hopeful, has strong faith in his ability to win. It's a nakshatra for enjoyment, for luxuries, for comforts. It's a nakshatra that has that beginning point of achievement. The ultimate achievement and success is in the nakshatra of Uttarashada. But Purvashada is the beginning of that achievement, when you start getting the point, when you start getting the feeling that yes, you are getting there, that yes, you are on track. That is the nakshatra of Purvashada. It is that feeling of never giving up. It is the feeling of being undefeatable, of no matter what comes across, you are going to beat it. No matter what obstacles and challenges come your way, now you're going to defeat it. So Purvashada has this positive, strong energy, this hope, this faith that it's going to get through. And Uttarashada is the actual completion of the task. Uttarashada, the nakshatra that comes after Purvashada, is the actual completion of the task, is the declaration of war. It's defeating the enemies. It's real success. But Purvashada is just the beginning, the feeling, the attitude of not giving up ever. So Purvashada people, they tend to not give up when they go through setbacks. They tend to fight back when they come across obstacles. And so Saturn is in this nakshatra of Purvashada, which is a good nakshatra. So anything that you started previously in this last month or so, in this last 2 months, suddenly you started feeling a sense of, yes, I'm getting there. Yes, things are happening for me now. Yes, I'm on track. But this feeling is a little too early because Purvashada is the beginning part of this battle. The achievement would only be in Uttarashada. So this feeling of yes, I am getting there, yes, the achievement is happening, is should not be taken like that. So Saturn going back in this nakshatra and going back to the nakshatra of Moola signifies that you need to still go back and you need to build on the base. Because the nakshatra of Mool, the nakshatra of Moola, the first nakshatra in the sign of Sagittarius from 0 degrees to 13 degree 20 minutes, is the nakshatra of Ketu. And Mool means roots. Mool means a base. Mool means a foundation. So whatever you started, you need to go back to the nakshatra of Mool. That is what Saturn is going to do. It's going to take you back to the nakshatra of Mool. It's going to take you back to the roots. You're going to check the foundation. It means that the foundation is not complete. It means you still need to work on the foundation of whatever you started. You got to make it stronger. And then once you've completed this task, Saturn is going to go again in direct motion and it's going to move towards the nakshatra of Purvashada, and then it's going to go towards Uttarashada, which is complete achievement, which is success, which is a complete declaration of war, which is winning. So Saturn coming back in this nakshatra and going back towards the nakshatra of Mool means the feeling of achievement, the feeling of doing well is just a temporary feeling that there are things that were not completed. There are unfinished tasks that you got to go and complete. Go back, do your homework, go back to the roots, go back to the basics. Finish that homework, complete that homework, and then you can move forward into the nakshatra of Purvashada and then into Uttarashada and then declare it a victory. So that's what this retrograde motion is about. I would also like to discuss this transit for all the zodiac signs with you. So the first zodiac sign is Aries. If you are an Aries ascendant, then Saturn represents your 10th and your 11th house. The 10th house is owned by Capricorn and the 11th house is owned by Aquarius. And the lord of both these houses is Saturn. It's going to turn retrograde on the 18th. And whatever tasks you do before the 18th, those 5 days in that stationary period, it's a very important period, is whatever tasks you do are going to go a long way. To bring you success where? In your 10th house, in your house of karma. To bring you success in your 11th house, in your house of gains, desires, dreams. So now Saturn is going back retrograde in the nakshatra of Purvashada, and then it's going to move back into the nakshatra of Mool, but in the 9th house. So what does that mean? 9th house is the house of Bhagya. This is a great position. The 10th lord in the 9th house is a Raj Yog, Dharam Karam Adhipati Yog. It's a very good yog. Saturn here could be bringing you an opportunity. It's going back and going to lay some kind of a foundation for you. In the Mool nakshatra, it's going to take you back to the roots, bring you something, going to change your philosophy about your profession, It's going to change your attitude, your beliefs about your karma, about your 10th house. It's going to change your philosophy about your gains and desires and dreams. Some changes will take place in you mentally, and some changes will take place on the physical plane as well. So you will be going back and building the foundation of your dreams. You're going to go back, build the foundations of your actions. Some opportunities are going to come along your way, and you're going to have to start working from the basics. So that was for an Aries ascendant. For a Taurus ascendant, Saturn now rules the 9th house and the 10th house. 9th house is the house of opportunity, the Bhagyasthan. 10th house is the house of your action, Karamsthan. And Saturn is in the 8th house, in the sign of Sagittarius, and it's going retrograde. So the 8th house is again the sign of transformation, the sign of changes. It's a hidden house, it's a deep house. A lot of changes are going to happen for you. If Saturn is going back as the Lord of the 10th house, it's in the 8th house, and it's going back to the nakshatra of Mool. Please check your philosophy regarding your profession. Please check if you're doing the right things in your profession. Do not go by any wrong means. If you are using wrong means professionally in your office, if there are any wrong means that you're using, you got to now go back to the basics and correct them, because that is what Saturn is doing. It could bring sudden ups and downs in your profession. But Saturn is going back, it's giving you that chance to correct, to change your philosophy. It is in the sign of Sagittarius, the sign of philosophy, the sign of traditions. It's taking you back to your traditions, and it's taking you back to the Mool, to the basics, to foundation. It is taking you and helping you change. Now is the time. Either change, or there would be sudden ups and downs in your career. So that is all for now. I would be seeing you with the next zodiac sign from Gemini to Pisces. I would be doing in the next video. Do subscribe below. There is this button of subscription right here. Subscribe below, and remember to ring the bell. Only then will you be notified of the upcoming videos. Subscribe below and keep watching. Alright, bye-bye for now.